Hey, what is going on, Virgos? Butch here. Doing this video, it's St. Patty's Day, so happy St. Patrick's Day. You may not watch it on St. Patrick's Day, so it'll be a little weird, but just know it was made that day. I'm going to do your 1 week read. It is a general read, so it may not resonate with everyone. It is for your Sun, Moon, Rising, and your Venus. For all you cross watchers, roles can be reversed. Always feel free to comment down below. Because it's St. Patty's Day, I thought, why not use the Celtic Tarot? With all that being said, let's get it. Universe, what is going on for Virgos? What message do we have for Virgos? All right, Virgos. So the first thing that I see is I feel like there is someone around you, and I feel like with this person, I first and foremost, I feel like this person came to you. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of chaotic energy in this person, and I feel like you gave them something, you inspired them, and I feel like you inspired them, but also you showed them a different way. You gave them hope when they felt like all hope was lost. Like I said, I feel like they've been sitting in that chaotic energy for a while, but you inspire them. I mean, I feel like that calmness, it's almost like, I feel like with them, I feel like they're getting their shit together, and I feel like a lot of that thanks goes to you. I feel like you give to this person, and you continue to give, and you give them something they never had before. And with that, I feel like there is this establishment of trust that they never had before as well. I feel like they don't really trust easily, but with you, it kind of comes naturally. But I feel like there is a part of this person that still holds back with that Eight of Swords, that self-imposed prison. It's almost like having a hard time accepting. I feel like there's a lot of pride in this person. They have a hard time accepting help. But I feel like they kind of got to a place where, or they're getting to a place where they feel defeated because they feel like they know what they want. I mean, we have the Four of Cups, thinking about you and only you, seeing how much you've given to them, and how much you continue to give, and that feeling they have when they're around you. They're having a hard time accepting that. I feel like they've always been the one dealing with everything, and it got too much for them, and that's what caused that chaotic energy. They never depended on anyone. They never trusted in anyone, but now they trust, they have this trust in you. And the more, they see of you, the more that trust builds. And it's about opening up to someone that when they haven't opened up to someone in a very long time. Like I said, I feel like there's so much that they're not used to in this situation. They're not used to someone showing up for them. They're not used to having someone, give to them. And not only that, but I mean, I feel like I said, I feel like you inspire them. And I feel like it's causing these huge changes in this person that they weren't expecting. But then we have the Death card. I feel like this person, there's this huge transformation in this person that's coming. And I mean, you probably won't take credit, Virgos, because we all know um, you tend not to do that. But I feel like a lot of the credit is because of you. You know, that nurturing energy. You know, I mean, I feel like you gave this person almost like a new lease. You know, you showed this person a better way. You gave this person um, something they never had. You know, I feel like the thing is with this person is I feel like they know exactly what they want. You know, the feelings that they had, they weren't expecting it, like I said. Um, you know, seemingly coming out of nowhere. I feel like this person had a hard time letting their guard down, like I said, with that Eight of Swords, that self-imposed prison. Um, but with you, they know what they want. You know, they want this more than anything. I mean, they don't only need you, they want you. But I feel like that's hard for them to say. You know, those feelings they have for you are new to them. They never felt this way about anyone before. And you're bringing out some things that they didn't expect to, you know, some feelings they didn't expect to feel. You know, I do feel like there's a lot of overthinking on their part. You know, we have that Four of Swords. You know, I feel like it is partly pride. You know, I feel like they never really asked for help from anyone. And because they never asked, they never got it. But then they met you and you just gave. You know, and I feel like this person has some really, you know, we have that King of Cups. You know, this person sees you in a very deep way. There's a very intense connection that they feel towards you. I just feel like they're having a hard time being, you know, open about that because of the fact that they're still fighting those old ways. You know, those old ways, like, you know, I feel like this person's been a lone traveler for a long time. They never thought they'd ever meet someone like you. And you're not, like I said, and I'll say again, you're not like anyone they've ever met before with that Six of Cups in reverse. And because they never met anyone like you before, they never had these feelings before. But they feel this deep connection towards you. You know, it is hard for them to acknowledge it because they've been such a lone survivor for so long. You know, when you live a life where you're all by yourself, I mean, it wasn't working out because it's like chaotic energies, too much on their plate with that Two of Pentacles. It wasn't working out, but they were used to it. You know, sometimes when you live in a certain situation, you live in a certain way, even it may not be ideal to other people, you learn to adapt to it. You know, sometimes when, you know, that's all part of like addiction and stuff like that. I mean, personally, I've had a lot of running in my family with addiction. And not to say this person had addiction, but addiction is so many different forms. Sometimes you can get addicted to the shit. And what I mean by that is sometimes being, okay, sometimes you can get addicted to being broke. And I know that sounds like the stupidest thing you've ever heard. But what it is someone that never had any money. Just for an example, maybe they come into some money and they blow it all really stupidly because they're used to being broke. They're not used to having money. Someone that falls in love, that's never been in love. They push that person away, they self-sabotage because they're not used to it. You know, it's a mindset, and sometimes we get stuck in the wrong type of mindset. But I feel like you're giving this person hope. And like I said, I feel like the hardest thing for this person is to tell you how they feel. But I mean, this is a connection that was meant to be. You know, we have new love. We have the lovers, that deep connection. You know, it's with that lovers card, I have so many different terms for it, but in this case, I feel like it's more like a firefighter love. When everybody else ran out of that burning building, you kept running back in. And you didn't ask for any appreciation for it. Then that's what like the firefighter love. Firefighters don't always get love for what they do. But they keep doing it. And I feel like I said, with that chaotic energy, that too much on their plate, this is kind of like a metaphor of them, that they're a burning building, and you kept coming in to save them, and they love you for that. They think about you and only you. You gave them hope. You gave them light when they were surrounded with darkness. You gave so much to them. And one thing that's clear moving forward is you filled their cups up. And they're going to want to do that for you. Even though it's hard for them to admit it, they are going to. Because the alternative is losing you. They're going to want to fill your cup. So they're going to show up. They're going to put in the work. They're going to give you something that no one else deserved. And I feel like they're going to finally be honest with you and tell you how they feel. And that's a big step for this person, because I feel like feelings and love and all this stuff is new to them. I feel like there's a lot that's been going on in this person's life, and they never really felt that true love. They never felt truly loved. They never felt like someone had their back. And for that, you're going to get their undying loyalty. And I feel like this person is fiercely loyal. You nurture, they'll protect. With that king, or that emperor and empress, that father and mother, it's that protective energy meets that nurturing energy. And protective is in protecting what they have, protecting what they love. And that's the thing, when someone never really had love or felt a lot of love for someone else, when they do find it, they'll protect it. Now, like I said, I do see you getting everything you want from this person, even things you may not have expected. This person is going to exceed your expectations. And that's one thing with Virgos, is sometimes they think that their standards are too high. But in all reality, knowing what you want isn't a bad thing. A lot of people don't know what they want. And my dad's a Virgo, and he's very particular about what he wants, but he knows. Like I said, I do see you getting everything you want from this person, and them getting everything they want from you. And I feel like that's where the foundation starts, and it's a strong foundation being built here. It's a foundation of respect and love. Showing up for each other, loyalty, trust. It's all the foundations, the pillars. You got loyalty, you got trust, you got love, you got respect. And that is a hell of a start for anything. Sometimes it just takes the right person to come along to show someone that they deserve love by loving them. And all it is showing up for them. All it is being there for them, being reliable. And you're showing them a different way. And like I said, this person needs you. But not only do they need you, they want you. Like I said, with that firefighter love, not all people appreciate the firemen, but this one sure does. You see that burning building, you keep running in, and a lot of times, you putting yourself on the line for someone else, people don't appreciate it as much as they should. But this person sure as hell does. And it's formed this bond that they never had with anyone. And it's special. It's a very intense connection. And I see a lot of happiness moving forward. Like I said, I do see you getting everything you want and you deserve and you expected. This person has more to offer the world than anyone ever saw before. But that's another thing with Virgos. Virgos see things that other people don't. I've talked about this before, how my dad, he's a Virgo, and he used to buy houses and flip them when we were young. After he got out of the military, he took money and he bought his first house and flipped it. and bought another one. And he always made really good money on it because he was always good at spotting the houses that a lot of people didn't see the value in. And that's just one thing that he was really good at. You know, he could go into a house and see value. You know, and it's funny because his brother, he was doing the same thing, and he lost a lot of money on a few houses because he got into it and realized it was way more money than he was willing to put into it, and then he ended up selling it for less than he paid. Some people just have that eye; they see things, and I'm referring to him seeing value in houses, but he, you know, with cars, with anything. I mean, you know, he was always good at that. And I feel like that's just a Virgo trait is being able to see potential in things and people. You know, seeing past the exterior, seeing past what you're seeing. You know, sometimes you present it with someone, and sometimes that person has a lot more value than anybody gives them credit for. But Virgos are usually pretty good at, you know, seeing that. With this read, I mean, we have Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio. We have some Aries. We also have some Aquarius and Gemini. That was one thing I mean, one day I'm going to do a video of the pros and cons of each sign from my perspective, obviously. But one of the pros I'm always going to give to Virgos is just, it's like they have this, it's like you guys all have this like vision, and you're seeing things that we're not seeing. You know, my dad was always good at that. One of the things, my dad was tough love. Growing up, my dad was tough love. He was in the military. He lost his dad in the military when he was very young, so he was the oldest of his. My grandmother had 3 kids. My grandfather passed away overseas, and he got killed, and she took it really hard. It was the love of her life. And my dad stepped up. He was 12 years old, and he stepped up to take care of his younger brother and sister. He's always a workhorse. So my dad was a very serious person, no shit kind of person. But one thing my dad always did that I always appreciated, and I always will appreciate about my dad, is he pushed me because he knew that I could be more. You know, and I never saw that when I was young. You don't see a lot of things your parents do for you till you're older. You know, I always wondered why he was so hard on me and not hard on my brother. And I remember we had a conversation one time, and he said, because I always saw more in you. I always thought you could be more. You know, like when I come home with B pluses or A minuses, he was like, it's not an A plus. You know, and he said, if you put a little more effort in, you could have done it. And he was right. When I got older, I realized I could have put more effort in. But he drove me to be a better person. You know, it's one thing the few Virgos that I know intimately, like very close, like intimately, like my dad, my aunt, and another uncle on my mom's side, they were always like that. You know, really, they push people to the place they know they could get to. And we gotta, you know, if you don't have a Virgo friend or a Virgo person in your life, I mean, you need one. Because if you have potential, they'll get it out of you. It may not be pretty, but they'll get it. And you'll appreciate it for it. You'll appreciate them for it. You know, Virgos hold themselves to a higher standard. And they hold people that are around them to a higher standard. And a lot of times they'll get let down. But once in a while, we show up. Be good. Take care. Stay safe.